So now that everyone is really excited about Across the Spider-Verse and the movie is amazing, incredible, all different types of words to use. You can't even really describe how great that movie is. I feel like now is a perfect time for me to make my Spider-Man 2 video. I was born the same year that the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie came out, the movie that basically like kickstarted superhero categories along with the Batman movies. So Spider-Man has always been like my go-to. It's been my favorite like superhero ever. It's just, you know, there's something about the fact that I was born the same time as like him blowing up even more than he was already. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a weird feeling. And then when they announced Miles Morales as a Spider-Man a few years ago, I was even more hooked because he's an Afro-Latino. I grew up in a Puerto Rican household. So for me, it was like, oh my God, there's like a Hispanic Spider-Man that I can relate to on a different level than I can already relate to Peter Parker's Spider-Man. So I don't know. It's just really awesome for me. So when the PlayStation event happened and they showed the first footage of the game, I did not want to make a reactionary video to it because I felt like I was just going to be very, very hypey and not critical at the same time. Trust me, I'm over the moon excited for this game. There's not a single thing that can come out this year that would make me more excited. I went into this year with this already being my most anticipated game of the year, and it still is. I will say I am nervously excited because the last time I got very excited for a game was Cyberpunk, and we all know what happened with that game. I'm not even talking about the bugs. I'm talking about the fake promises and all that other stuff. But Spider-Man 2 looks really, really good. The footage that we were shown was old demo footage, and even then, it looked incredible. I'm very excited for it. I know a lot of people when the footage came out were saying that it doesn't look like a next-gen game, and I mean, it's just kind of dumb to make that argument because for one, you're watching it in a compressed video. Two, you're not seeing it on your screen in front of you. This is recorded gameplay that somebody had done. And three, the game is not out yet. So I don't understand like why I don't know. It's a console warrior thing, and console warriors make me so angry from both sides. Both sides. I want to make that very clear. I can't stand PlayStation ponies as much as Xbox. I hate them both very equally. I don't even want to like break down the gameplay because I feel like everyone's already done that. I just want to kind of sit here and express how amazing this game is going to be and some of the parts I'm most excited for. For one, I think it's pretty obvious, the black symbiote suit. Everyone is really excited for that. It looks incredible. I'm excited for us getting actual Venom. Voice actor that they have for Venom is incredible. Venom himself from that first initial teaser little trailer that they put together a couple years ago looks insane. His design is perfect. I love it. I also think this is a great time for Venom to be in the game because of the Venom films kind of making, I don't want to say they made Venom more popular because Venom has always been pretty popular amongst like the comic book followers, I don't know. But Venom has always been like a staple, especially with Spider-Man. I just think it's a perfect time because he's getting the movies and it seems like we're seemingly getting closer to him in live action with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I will say that Venom and Kraven being like two villains in the same game is incredible. I think that's such a great idea because they're both so hardcore. Something I didn't like about the Venom movies was the fact that they were PG-13. I really wish that they were R because I feel like it would have just been able to do more with the character. But I mean, I think that both of these villains are going to be incredible. You know, the way Peter is acting in the trailer is just hilariously funny to me because we know what happens when he gets the symbiote at this point. We know it's going to change him. However, Insomniac Games has come out and the voice actor for Spider-Man has come out and they've said how they're going more with the addiction approach, which I find is super fascinating because we've seen it before where Peter really likes the symbiote, but then he pretty much gets rid of it pretty fast, I'd say. I think for this game, we're going to actually have it for a long period of time because it seems like the gameplay that we got was Miles' first time seeing Peter with the symbiote, but it didn't really seem like it was Peter's first time using the symbiote. So I wonder what like the timeline of him getting the symbiote is. That's something I'm excited for. We also see that we are getting more of New York, which I'm really excited for. I think that a bigger map is understandable and the map looks really good. You know, I didn't really recognize any of the locations from the gameplay trailer. I recognized parts of the shipyard and parts of when Miles was swinging through the city and flying through the city. But I don't know. I like it. I think it looks really good. I think there's going to be even more to it. I wonder how they're going to do civilians. I wonder if they're going to keep them exactly the same, where you can walk around and they like say things to you, or, you know, you can interact with them in kind of the same way. I wonder if there's going to be more interaction. I don't know. But the other thing that I'm extremely excited about, which I feel like most people are just really, really excited for Peter and Peter's story. I'm excited to see Miles' story more. Again, Miles is my favorite superhero. Miles' Spider-Man is my go-to whenever I'm asked that question. I think he has awesome suits. I want to do a video where I just kind of talk about what suits I want each of them to have. But even in what we saw with the gameplay reveal, we got to see Miles do things differently. I'm excited to see the growth that Miles has in this game, because I think the time jump is like 8 months or like 6 months, or it's not even a full year, or maybe it is a year, but it's not a huge time jump to where Miles has been Spider-Man for a good amount of time. He's still pretty young at it. I really wonder if we're gonna have a big death for each character, because if you don't really know, Miles' mom is killed due to Venom. So I'm intrigued. At least I think in one storyline. I don't remember which storyline it is. It might even just be his ultimate comic origin storyline. But because of Venom and the way Venom interacts with Miles in the comics, his mom unfortunately dies in his arms, and I'm intrigued to see what they do with that. I don't think she's gonna die in the game. I don't know. I'm just rambling now because I can't express how excited I am for this game. I want to be skeptical, but it's really hard. I loved the first 2 games so much, so I don't know. I do think the most important thing that we've heard from it is how they're going to face a more darker tone, how addiction plays a very big role between Peter and the symbiote, and then Miles kind of has to go in and be the thing that breaks up that addiction. And I think that also the fact that the character switching is very seamless, I'm very excited for. Again, people were saying, but GTA 5 did it 7 years ago, but the difference is in GTA, there was loading screens. It would shoot up into the clouds and zoom over and zoom back in. And it was really, really good and really fast on the next gen versions and the PC, but it was still having loading screens. It seems like in this game, it's literally you just press a button and go. We don't know how it is in the open world. We haven't seen it yet, so you can't really judge it. I will say I like how they said that they have content designed around Peter and content designed around Miles. So whichever you're playing in the open world is where that content is going to shine. And I think that's a really, really important thing that Insomniac had to do. And the fact that they did it, I think is just really, really, really good. And the last thing is the trees. One of the reasons I think that we're going to have the symbiote as Peter for a long period of time is because in the Eurogamer article where Insomniac was talking about the character switching, they said that we saw Miles's evolved venom powers and Peter's symbiote abilities, and you can upgrade them in their respective trees. So I think they were talking about Peter's trees in general, Miles' trees in general, but I wonder if they were also shadowing towards the symbiote having its own dedicated tree while we have it with Peter. I'm really, really, really interested to see how that goes. Yeah, I can't wait to explore Brooklyn again. I can't wait to explore New York. You know, my family's also from New York, so I think that's another reason why I love Spider-Man so much. Hey, as long as they don't give another MJ mission, I'll be happy.